She said things like, "So, you're planning for divorce? And I thought we trusted each other." Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the net's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, "Am I the a-hole for considering calling off my wedding because my fiancée refuses to sign a prenup after I found she has massive credit card debt?" And a shout out to AM for sending this story. And guys, this is all about a guy, middle-aged guy, months from getting married, who ultimately kicks his fiancée to the curb. The wedding's off after not only finding out that she hid at a tremendous amount of credit card debt from him, but also her reaction to when he obviously, his response to this whole thing and wanting a prenup and all that. Her response will not surprise you at all. And I thought it'd be a very good one to go over here, guys, to make it abundantly clear. For you relationship guys that want to get married one day, you want to do that you got to make sure you and your girl relatively see eye to eye when it comes to finances. If you're a guy that's really building wealth and being financially responsible is important to you for very sensible reasons, and you're with a girl that likes to spend every dime she has or dime she doesn't have, by racking up on credit card debt, buying BS to make her happy, it will never work. Okay? Never. You can't get together women like that because, or if you're a woman who's sensible with money, there are some out there, and you're with a guy who pisses away, it won't work. End of story. It's a disaster. One of the biggest things that tear apart relationships is money. You cannot get with someone like this, and this is what this guy's doing. But also in this story, making it clear that guess what? Newsflash, there are women out there that will get with guys only for their resources. Yeah, imagine that. And this situation here, she's doing the same thing, expecting to have him pay off all her credit card debt and obviously take him to the cleaners. You have to be so careful about these things, guys, who you get involved with and potentially marry. You got to do your homework, your due diligence, because they will hide things from you. So, starts off, yeah, guys, by the way, if you haven't done it already, come check me out on X, formerly Twitter. The handle is SSM Channels. Come join me, because over here on YouTube, they don't promote me like the old days. So it starts off, says here, I'm just a middle-aged man supposed to get married in a few months to my fiancée. We've been together for 3 years, engaged for 1. Smack! Do you hear that? Meaning 2 years after they started dating, they're already engaged. That is the dumbest freaking thing known to man. Sounds like she was really trying to speed up the process here, huh? Most of that time, I generally believe we were on the same page about life values and, most importantly, honesty. For some background here, I've worked very hard to build a stable financial foundation. I'm not wealthy, but I own my own house outright, have no personal debt, and I've been saving and investing since my early 20s. Dude, compared to a lot of folks, you are considered wealthy to actually not only own your own home, but to have it fully paid off by your being middle-aged, 0 personal debt, and obviously you have your brokerage and you have your 401k or retirements, and you're doing pretty well there. You're light years ahead of most Americans, but then again, most Americans, by choice, piss away their money on bullshit. It ain't just about emergencies and stuff like that. But anyhow, it's been a priority for me, especially since my parents went through a nasty divorce that ruined both of them financially. That shit will do something to you. About a month ago, while we were discussing wedding costs, I brought up a prenup. Not in a cold or controlling way, I just want to protect the life I've worked very hard to build. I was upfront about it, that I'd still be fair, and the agreement wouldn't leave her with nothing. I expected an adult conversation. Yeah, sure. Instead, she got immediately defensive. Now, a lot of women don't like it anyway, but this tells you a lot. Because remember, clearly she's with this guy for a reason. She said things like, "So, you're already planning for divorce? And I thought we trusted each other." I tried to explain it wasn't about trust, it was about transparency and mutual protection. Dude, there is nothing you can say that is going to even remotely compute in her mind. Primarily because she's with you for your money, for your resources. You said you're not rich, but still, she's broke, as you're about to see. Negative. But she shut it down completely. That's when the red flags started popping up. Dude, I'm sure there were red flags long before this conversation. She became evasive every single time money came up, and I started noticing weird things like credit card offers in the mail, a few missed payments on shared expenses that she said she would cover, and lots of I'll handle it later type of energy. So this guy is an extremely responsible guy on multiple fronts. That's why he is where he is now in terms of the house is paid off, no personal debts. Meanwhile, she, as you can see here, these are signs. Be grateful from the Lord that you got these signs. But the way she's giving a hard time with the whole thing, he shouldn't be with her. Now listen to this. So eventually I asked her directly if she has any debt. She admitted to, wait for it, drum roll, $92,000 in credit card debt. Holy crap. Now, I'm sure a lot of that amount is obviously interest piling up and late fees, because I guarantee she's probably late making payments. It's no student loan debts, no mortgage debt, credit card debts. She said accumulate over the years from unexpected expenses and a few dumb splurges, but she never told about any of it until I forced the issue. So lying by admission. Oh no, yeah, by the way, a few dumb splurges, $92,000, a few dumb splurges or unexpected expenses. Unless she had a major medical thing that her insurance didn't cover, because that sometimes sadly happens. Beyond that, what expenses, what splurges? A few grand is a splurge. Okay? $92,000? Holy crap. These two ain't going to work. Goodbye. Run, Forrest, run. Run. Danger, Will Robinson. You all heard it. It says here, I was stunned. We were about to merge our lives, and this woman was about to legally become my spouse, and she didn't think I deserved to know she was 6 figures in the red. Dude, she absolutely knew what she was doing. In case it isn't obvious, she's with you because here's the deal. You get married, she's going to tap your resources and pay off that credit card amount, and then rack up other ones, except your name's going to be on the debt, and then eventually divorce you and take you what you got. I told her this made the prenup non-negotiable for me. I need to protect myself, not just emotionally, but financially. No, you need to end the engagement. Prenup, why are you marrying her? I told her I was willing to still move forward with the wedding, but not without something in writing that protects my premarital assets. Smack! I'm not smacking him for demanding a prenup. I'm smacking him for even trying to marry at this point. Are you nuts? Well, she lost it. She called me selfish. She said I was turning love into a business deal. Newsflash, marriage is a business deal. Anybody says it's not a business deal is grossly naive. Wake up. She said, listen to this. She said that my house and my money should be hers too if we're truly a team. Well, here's a question. What does she bring to the table? Really? So, some sweet tits, nice ass. He's middle-aged, so I'm going to guess probably, I'm guessing she's probably not in her 20s. I'm guessing probably at least in her 30s. And there are damn good-looking gals in their 30s, but it's not like she's some in her prime 24-year-old. What does she bring to the table? Does she have a high income? I doubt that. She's bringing all this debt. So what is he getting out of this? Right? Seriously. But in her mind, she's something amazing. You bet your butt. His house, his money's hers. Wake up, dude. That's why she's with you, nothing more. Since then, she refused to talk about the prenup again, and we're barely speaking. Welcome to your life with her, dude. Even her mother called me and accused me of humiliating her and of being materialistic. Number one, it's not the mother-in-law's business. And number two, she's calling you materialistic. Who's the one that racked up $93,000 in credit card debt? How stupid and irresponsible can you be? And was probably buying bullshit. That's called being materialistic. I guarantee you her freaking closet is full of shoes and handbags and purses and Lord knows what. Tell the mother to fuck off. All I want is not to be liable for debt. I didn't create and make sure a life I built before this relationship is protected. So now I'm seriously reconsidering the whole wedding. There's an idea, brother. Not because she has debt, but because she hid it from me and refused to take responsibility and is now treating me like I'm the bad guy for trying to protect myself. Count your blessings that you found this out before you got married, and she's acting like a lunatic. I'm almost certain that she could pay her debts since she is a partner in her friend's business, but she refuses to. Am I the a-hole thinking about walking away? No, brother. You're the a-hole if you stay. Now, we're going to get to his update in a second. So, see, gentlemen, this is why it's not going to work if you are a guy that's trying to be responsible with money and build wealth and all that. You got to be with someone else that's on the same page. Like I said, you usually have somebody that's more of a saver, investor, and usually with somebody who's more of a spender. But it's one thing if it's a little bit of a difference, but if it's massive like this, no way. Run, dude. And this is why you do your due diligence. He's wasted 3 years of his life with this chick without wanting to know about her credit card debt, her credit score, her history, and all that. No, you can't do that, guys. Well, on to the update. Because remember, at the end of his first post, she still thinks she has power over this guy. Well, the golden rule, whoever has the gold has the power. Or whoever has the gold makes the rules. Excuse me. Okay, his update. He says here, so I was not planning to come back, but a lot of people messaged me, and honestly, it's been a hell of a few days. I figured I'd give an update. So yeah, the wedding is officially off. Hallelujah! Another brother saved. After I posted my story, I tried one more time to talk to my fiance. Well, ex-fiance. Dude, why? Why you gotta try to reason with crazy? I told her that I wasn't trying to be cold or controlling. I just need to protect myself. I also said if the roles were reversed, I'd completely understand if she wanted to do the same. If the roles were reversed, she wouldn't be with you. That's the difference. I told her I could still move forward with the wedding if we signed a fair prenup. No. One that clearly said her debt is hers and my home savings are mine if things go bad. If you got married to her, you wouldn't have any home savings. She'd spend it all. I also said I'd go to therapy or counseling with her if this felt like a deeper trust issue. She didn't take it well. She said again that the prenup was an insult and I was basically planning for a divorce. So she really thinks she is something else. But then again, obviously I'm going to guess this guy who's done a great job in his life financially probably isn't rolling with the ladies, so she thinks she has all the power. Then she started crying and said I was humiliating her and that I was destroying everything we had built over money. No, bitch, you ruined everything over money and also by your lying and making me out to be the villain and getting your mom involved and all that. But that's the thing, it's not just about the money. It's about the fact that she kept a massive amount of debt hidden until she had no choice but to tell me. And by the way, I think I'm not alone that I'm willing to bet you that it ain't just 92 grand. It's probably 92 grand between a couple American Express cards or a couple. She probably has Capital One and Discover cards, and it's probably spread out. But anyhow, I'm sure it's more than 92 grand in debt. And even then, she only told me because I pushed it. That's not partnership. That's avoidance. Well, it's more like evasion. So I told her I couldn't go through with it. I called off the wedding. It sucked. It still sucks. We told the venue that it was canceled, and we did what we could and let people know. Her family is furious. Mine has been supportive, but are trying not to say I told you so. Try not to tell you I told you so. Are you telling me? I'm willing to bet you his family saw the red flags about her, but this guy was with her anyway. And yeah, I bet her family's furious because now they got to deal with her. I've lost a lot of money in deposits and with some family flying in from out of state, but honestly, it's nothing compared to what could have happened if I ignored my gut. Yeah, if he married her, he would have been left with nothing. She would have wiped him clean, racked up all these debt, buying bullshit, and then divorced him, taken as much as she could, and he'd be left, holding the bag. Well, she moved out 2 days ago. We've barely spoken. Good. I keep second-guessing myself even now. I didn't want this, but I also don't want to wake up one day in financial ruin, wondering why I ignored every red flag just to avoid hurting someone. Anyway, thanks for everyone who gave advice or just listened. I'm heartbroken, yeah, but I feel like I did the right thing. It doesn't make it easy, just necessary. Well, good job for him for doing that what was hard, because obviously it was, But, my man, you dodged a big one. You may not be so lucky next time. So all you guys out there, here's a dose of reality. If you're the type of guy, and be honest with yourselves, who throughout your life when you're young, growing up, and then high school and college, if you went to college, 20s, even 30s, and you weren't exactly a chick magnet, But then you get to a point in your life when you got some resources, you're doing well, and all of a sudden they're paying more attention to you. Please understand, unless you've done something to really transform your appearance, gotten in great shape, dressed better, you gotten some game, if you will, if nothing's changed, they're after you for your fucking resources. Even if you did improve yourself, they're after you for your fucking resources, okay? You have to be very, very careful. Sure, you can meet a gal that actually likes you for you later on in life, but you still got to do your homework. There are plenty like her that will get with a guy who is just happy to have any woman pay attention to them, let alone spread her legs for him, and boom, he's in. He proposed. They got engaged 2 years after their first fucking date. That's insane. And obviously, he probably had rose-colored glasses on the whole time. So be careful, gentlemen. I can't stress that enough. So good for him for ending with her. Something tells me she'll be back. Guaranteed. She'll switch tactics from being a bitch to him to probably kissing his ass and waterworks and all that. I hope like hell he doesn't fall for it. But there you go. So good for him. And by the way, thank the Lord, the comment section is overwhelmingly full of people supporting him. I'll read a few comments and I'll wrap this up. One guy says, not the a-hole. I'm glad you found out before you got married, and I'm more glad you didn't push on purely as you love her. She showed you clearly she cannot be trusted and finds no fault in lying to you. That's all she was actually wanting to be was liable for her debts and for her to get her hands in your savings so she can keep spending money. Without respect, trust, and love, there can be no marriage, and as hard as it should be, she couldn't have loved you. She was happy to lie and trap you with her debt. I'm just glad you brought up the prenup before you may have discovered the truth, as you never would have discovered the truth. Another one. This guy says, absolutely not the a-hole. You didn't end the relationship because of money. You ended it because of dishonesty, avoidance, and refusal to take accountability. What? Women and accountability? A prenup isn't planning for divorce, it's planning for transparency. The fact that she had $92,000 in credit card debt, then tried to guilt trip you for wanting to protect yourself, shows a serious lack of respect for the partnership you thought you had. You dodged a financial and emotional disaster. It hurts now, but your future is going to be so damn grateful you didn't ignore the red flags. Yeah. But I think it's going to be hard for this guy to accept that the possibility that she was with him for his money. A lot of guys don't want to do that. Accept that. And one more. This guy says, this is the debt you know about. I was in a marriage with a person like this who hid things from me and screwed me financially. And let me say, first, odds are this isn't the extent of her debt. That's what I think. It's unlikely she would lay it all on the table. Second, prenup or not, you can still get sued by a creditor and have to deal with it. Third, you may not have been accepting legal responsibility for a debt, but if she's trying to pay off $100K in credit card debt, think of how much that would impact your shared lives. Yeah, exactly. And think about the interest rate this woman's paying on that $92,000. It would take her a lifetime to pay it off, which means also not saving for retirement or contributing towards the mortgage. But guess what? She doesn't care. She was in it for the quick make money off this guy and leave thing and bleed him dry. Yeah. This guy says, listen to this. This guy says, I ran this through the credit calculator. At 18% interest, even making $4,000 a month in payments, it would take 259 months and $165,000 to pay that off. That's 21 plus years. How could she ever save for retirement? How could you save for future kids, college, etc.? Jesus, this is an albatross only bankruptcy can kill. That's the worst part. This chick would probably declare bankruptcy. Her credit score is probably shit anyway, and that'd be the end of it. Even without all that, a live emission is huge and such a gigantic red flag that you could use to cover a football field. You did 100% right thing. I'm sorry this happened to you, but I'm so glad you found out before you married her. Amen. So guys, be careful. There are vultures out there looking for the carcass to go after. Don't kid yourself again if you are a guy that weren't rolling with the ladies, you weren't James Bond when you're younger, and all of a sudden they're paying attention to you when you coincidentally have some resources. There are people out there that will use you and don't care. There's also guys that will use you too just to be your buddy to milk it. Be careful. Anyhow, thank God for him that he listened to his gut. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you got a good story, send it my way. strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.